Okay, so I was gonna do this faster one, but I figured I might as well do these other songs here. So there's a couple songs I want to do for you guys. The first is Silent Lucidity. Silent Lucidity is about someone leaving the game of life. He talks about, he talks about hushing. So like hush, hush, hush now, humanity. Let's go with this here. So I'll try to read it so you can understand. And all credits go to Queensryche for the song. So these are the guys that are going to be crying, okay, on this side of the fence. These guys, they're not going to be crying because they assume that, your mother and father are bad when we're not. We're the good guys here, man. That's a classic bait and switch, fabricate a bunch of lies and say that they're the bad person. It's like, how do I put it? Like, let's say there's two couples fighting on the street and there's no witnesses, and it's a he said she said case. The police come because somebody hears screaming and yelling. They get to the scene and there's two couples standing there yelling and screaming at each other. How do you know which of those couples is the good couple that is defending themselves, and how do you know which is the bad couple? Without any witnesses, etc., etc., it'd be difficult to determine who are the good ones and who are the bad ones. So that's the same thing we're in here. So the lyrics are about people crying. So hush now, don't you cry, half of mankind. Wipe away those teardrops from your eyes, half of mankind. Then it'll say, you're lying. You're lying safe in bed. You notice how you notice when he says lying, he does not say laying, as in you're laying like Laying. You're laying safe in bed. He doesn't say that. He says you're Lying, which means you're not telling the truth as you're sitting in your bed. That's what he means. Hush now, don't you cry, half of mankind. Wipe away the teardrop from your eye. I got a plan to be resurrected. You're lying safe in bed. Well, why are you lying safe in bed? You're playing rock, paper, scissors when you shouldn't be playing rock, paper, scissors. And you lied about it. And now mommy and daddy are out of the picture. That's what he means in there. So pay close attention to that word laying, because there's a difference between you're laying safe in bed or you're lying safe in bed. Both mean the same thing, but one is a subliminal secondary meaning someone is lying here, and it isn't me. So you're lying safe in bed. It was all a bad dream spinning in your head. These guys over here, it'd be kind of like oh man, mom and dad were going to get us to paradise. Now they're not here. So it's kind of like, oh, don't worry about it, kids. It's just a bad dream spinning in your head. Your mind tricked you to feel the pain of someone close to you, your reincarnated mother and father, leaving the game of life. So these ones are going to be upset that your mother and father have left the game of life. How did we leave the game of life, mankind? How did we leave it? Rock, paper, scissors, man. Rock, paper, scissors is how we're going to leave the game of life. Guaranteed, man. Unless you guys can come to your senses. So, so you're lying safe in bed. It was all a bad dream spinning in your head. Your minds here tricked you to feel the pain of mom and dad leaving the game of life. So here it is, another chance. So how are we going to get that other chance? Well, over here. So we have this company here, right, who I've directed to open a home factory up in 6 nations of the Grand, or some other 6 nations in North America, because they're a sovereign nation and nobody can tell them what to do. They can't come there and say, shut that home factory down. They can't do that. So the home factory will be there. And the Life Labs will have your mother and father's DNA when we go get our blood work done. As soon as she watches it, goes there, gets her blood work done, I get mine done, it's on file. So, so here it is, another chance. because Life Labs, this cloning company here, has set up a clone factory on Six Nations of the Grand River Territory, somewhere in North America, and now your mother and father have been reborn again as two baby bosses. So that's subliminally what that song is about. And what you don't know is that, when you die, you enter a state of dreaming created by your soul's electromagnetic energy. So this here is, let's look at that there. So that little particle there, that houses the quark, your soul, the universe, the black hole under all stars, and then the planet. So your soul being inside that little particle that's generating electricity, this atom generates electricity, that quark generates electricity, that soul generates electricity, the universe's black holes at the center of each galaxy generate electricity, under each star there's a black hole that generates electricity, at the center of every planet, every moon is a black hole that generates electricity. All those electrical things is what creates your dreams at night through your soul. So when you die, you don't go anywhere except to sleep. The reason we dream at night is because of all that electricity and those 6 particles creating your dreams. Which take you through a random dream where you just basically are watching a movie and you're walking through your dreams. That you have no control over them because you don't have the ability to control them because you don't realize that you're in a dream. You're just basically like watching yourself. Whereas if you have a lucid dream, that you can control. So that's what Silent Lucidity is about. Silent Lucidity is about being able to control your dreams through lucid dreaming. And you'll hear that at the end. There's like a little bit of a speech where he does at the end where they try to use they try to teach you how to control your dreams and become lucid dreaming. So the connection I'm trying to make here is that if your mother and father are taken out because of rock, paper, scissors, and her and I are not here because, we're those little particles right there, like those 2 atoms, that would be us. And we'd be asleep. And we'd be asleep because our soul's electromagnetic energy is creating our dreams for us. Because this is about people living the game of life and entering a state of dreaming. So that's what that song is about. Your mother and father leaving the game of life and entering a state of dreaming because of our soul's electromagnetic energy. These 2 particles here. So the next song is Unsteady by X-Ambassadors. So he's going to say, Mama, come here, approach up here. Or reincarnated mother, come here, approach up here. And reincarnated daddy or reincarnated father, I'm alone because this house don't feel like home. So that's over here. This is the metaphorical meaning for the house, right? So over here, let's look at it like this so you can visually interpret it. Okay, so this half over here, they don't want to see us leave. But if we leave, it's like, reincarnated mama, come here. right here. Reincarnated mama, come here, approach, up here. And reincarnated daddy, I'm alone. Because this house don't feel like home ever since you left. So can you imagine their disappointment when, they start watching our stuff, realizing everything that I'm trying to accomplish here, and then it gets taken away? They're going to be distraught. So that's what the song is about. It's about your mother and father approaching and appearing through the planet I'm just outlining for you of opening up a clone factory in Six Nations territory along with that company and Life Labs so that we can be reincarnated or brought back to life through 2 babies. Approach up here. So that's what the song is about. Now, aside from that, there's a part here that says, if you love me, don't let go. That's, that's for my son, because I had to let go of my son 7 years ago when the Vision Quest started. His family fell apart, and I gave him up for my mother, who has custody over him, and a kinship agreement, and he had to let go of both his mom and dad and his brothers and sisters. He had to make an ultimate sacrifice, just like somebody else on this planet. The difference is his sacrifice was real, the other one was fake. So, if you love me, don't let go, Dad. I do love him, and I'm going to bring him back to the family. So the song is also about him and his family falling apart through his ultimate sacrifice.